All right, Bruce here. Good morning and happy weekend. Let's take a look at Coin and Coney. So I don't have my sheet loaded on the second monitor, but I entered all the data. So basically, no new shares were bought, no really additional trades other than the fact the end of the week rollovers, right? So everything in yellow is for last week, and the orange is this week's position. So we bought back all of these trades, and let's look. So we went down from 234 to 225.92. So coin was down almost 9 points, right? And that was down 3.77. So a little oddity, we were actually down 4.48. I suspect there was just some selling of CONY saying, hey, the dividend's not going to be as big. YouTubers are telling us it's not that great. And, I was pretty vocal about saying, hey, I'm trading, I've owned CONY since late December, early January. I know I've collected all my dividends all the way through January to May, but I switched out 85, 90% of all of my CONY shares, moved the majority into Misty, put a little bit into YBIT, and then just bought some more YBIT with other funds. I had 3 different accounts that I work from, 2 IRAs, which are non-taxable, and then my Schwab, which is my taxable account. So anyway, just trying to get some relevant data for you. So they closed all these at real cheap prices, right? Almost 3 cents, almost 3 cents, 2 cents. And they put all of the contracts in one strike price and only 4.02% out of the money. So I'm not so sure why they chose that, but that could be close for them. But that's not going to affect this dividend, right? So we collected, 99% of our monies. So if we go over here and we look at holdings, well, actually, I moved it because this is just the new trade. We got 99.9% of the money, right? This is new data for the next one. And what do we have in terms of total? We actually sold 9 million, right? We took this 24,035 times 3.9 and we collected 9.373 million. So we got a bigger number than we have had for our weekly. So I'll make sure I reference that in a couple of these places. I did reference it there. Kind of an oddity. We sold it for 3.9 and they're showing in the holdings that it's valued at 5.5. That would imply that we sold it right down when we were at the lowest point, or around 223 or something. And then, or even below that, I think we were as low as 220 on coin at one point in the trading day. I was watching it because I'm now on my 6th weekly sell of my coin. Yeah, well, we hit 220. So the low was 219.64 and the high was about 240 on the day. At least I think that's the right. Yeah, that's the right. I got a real long term chart. Let me go to my one day. Yeah, we didn't. Looks like 219.7, something like that, and then we got up to around right at the end. We went as high as 228, but we closed down at like 224. So anyway, it was quite a range, and what I was telling you guys about. So I own some coin, and I originally sold a put and collected, $6, $7, and there were only 3 days to go and I wanted the $6 and it was like 242. Well, it closed down below 237, so I got it put to me and I said, okay, fine, I'm just going to keep it. So I've been writing calls, so I've probably collected, 2,500, 3,000 in my calls, and I've got another 232.50 call that I got 545 from just before the market closed, probably 20 minutes. And so I have that premium. And only if I'm over, I won't buy it back. If it's real close, 50 cents, a dollar, and I can get another $5, $6, $7, I'll just keep doing that because I'm bullish on Coinbase. But also I can do a lot with the amount of money that's tied up in that stock. But I started looking over the 5 weeks and I said, hey, $3,000 on a 23,700, it was actually 23.7 it was put to me, but the net price was about 23 because 2,230, and so that's almost like 100% yield. So it's like having a little mini, and I don't get taxed the same, right? Because this will be a short-term gain, but it's a little bit different than the distributions, because I can take other short-term gains against it, whereas on your distribution you don't really have a lot of write-offs because it's more ordinary income, unless you elect trader status, which I'm probably looking to do this year because I've got enough in my regular non-taxable that it would be advantageous, and I've got enough trades going on that I could get that status. So anyway, moving on, 3.9, we got the 9.3 there, bought these back, no synthetics, right? This is what I wanted to show you. We haven't done anything there, but, and this shows up on holdings, we're now 5 million in the hole, right? A paper loss, and we don't want a loss, we want a positive number on these. And that shows up like this, where we want the bigger number, the call, to be bigger than the put. So look down here. We had a 19 the day before, a 19.6 million gain, a 20. We got up to 41, right? It was looking pretty good. And here we are now with, a loser. And the biggest situation is we keep gaining the weekly, so we're recovering. But let's get in this payment situation. So this has come up, right? I mean, we had a loss, and then we got to about 2 or 3 cents, and that's what I said. We could get, 7 million and get 43 when we wrote the next call and get 8 or 9 or 10. Well, we got 9 something, right? So we've done the best we can really do here in this situation. Now, just because it's CONY, and I know that Jay and Zega, and I'm sure yieldmax, they want to see 100% returner in CONY. Like I said, it's one of the most popular. NVIDIA's really popular right now, but I think over the longer haul, CONY's done a better job and had bigger payouts. But NVIDIA clearly has been running. So we got, I'm seeing a minimum dollar, and I'm calling $1.22 on this, and we'll see what happens. Remember, they paid $1.07. This is the length of time I've been tracking it and owning it. But if you go back last year, there was another 10 something, right? I have it in a big spreadsheet, but I'm not going to open that and bore you through everything. But that's the situation here. We got killed in this scenario. This keeps getting better, right? Now, if they lose the weekly, but by the time they lose the weekly, it'll be the end of the week, the declaration will happen already, right? And after the after the 5th, I start my accounting all over. So everything after, June 3, I put in a new bucket for the June category. So there shouldn't be any trades unless people buy in, right? I doubt that people are going to buy in Monday and Tuesday when they see this, what I call lower scale. I mean, look back. Out of the last 5 payments, there's only been 1 payment, right? These are double. This is double. This is not a double, right? But so it's not the best for CONY, but hey, it's still, like I said, I move stuff into Misty because I see a 2 to 250 payment in Misty, and I'd rather have that, frankly. And I'll probably just roll right back into this guy with a certain percentage. Although it's going to be really interesting. You know, I got Y bid at 250 plus, so if that pans out, I'm going to keep some over there on YBit, and I have 3 kind of BTC-ish investments along with my GDXY. And Peoples, I think GDXY may not be 2 or 3 weeks. Well, it doesn't even pay till the first week of July, right? The declaration. But I think we're going to get some fireworks latter part of June, definitely into July and August in GDX. So I'm excited for that one. So that's what I got for you. I'll just skip the rest of it. I don't think there's anything. And oh, so we closed at 22.79. Fair value is 22.96. So that's a discount. I don't have anything bad to say about CONY at all. It's just not one of their higher payout months. And you know, at the detail level that I track this stuff and get to know this, I finally realized, hey, I can move things around a little bit. Now, depending on if it's a trading, again, I don't have the bulk of my funds in my trading. My bigger amount of shares of CONY and Misty are in my tax deferred, so I don't have much of a, you know, capital gain, capital loss issue to get impacted on that. But it's interesting. This clearly should be a Misty, you know, double the amount kind of payment. And Misty's been up there in that range, but not always double, right? I think this was, what, 228 last month, and Misty was 252. So they're pretty darn close. And then this was Misty's big month at 412, right? But this is super respectable. That was the highest that I'm aware of for CONY. Okay, guys. Bruce out. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for fun and entertainment. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.